Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business, and let's wake up the football gods this morning. And thank everybody for joining in our live stream last night. It was great having everybody in here. We had Law Nation join and go through and talk about the draft and how he feels about it and stuff. And do me a favor, YouTube be tripping right now. And YouTube, because of Proposition 13, I won't go into all of it, but basically it's Europe, is clamping down on copyrights. And so YouTube is overreaching, and I believe that's why my other channel was shut down. And Law Nation's main channel has been demonetized. He has a second channel, Law Nation 2.0. Go over there and subscribe to that channel, help him out and everything else so that way he can get back up and running and things. And hopefully we can get this all figured out so in the future we don't have the issues of bringing you the news on the Dallas Cowboys. Seems like when you're working with America's team, you don't get the benefit of the doubt. But as I got up this morning, I was looking at some of the comments and things, and one of the comments that was made was the Dallas Cowboys draft didn't do much to help out Dak Prescott. I'm not sure what he's looking at. In my mind, a bunch of things that happened in this draft will help out my quarterback. One, a defense that got better. A defense that's going to probably give the ball to our quarterback more. When you get a Tristan Hill in there, and of course, not to mention the things we did in free agency, it's going to lead to more quarterback fumbles and interceptions, and thus giving the offense the ball more. Now, as far as directly helping Dak, our number 2 pick, Connor McGovern, that guy, I'm not sure how he fell to the 3rd round, and I can understand why the Cowboys ended up drafting him. 6'5", 323 pounds, has started 35 games at Penn State. Got a little bit of a mean streak in him, very athletic, can move, strong, long arms. The guy is an absolute positive stud. And as far as helping Dak Prescott, let's turn the page back to last year right now. A lot of things that have already transpired during this offseason have been there to help Dak Prescott. Getting Jason Witten back, a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, a guy who has played the role of security blanket. That's number 1, and that's huge. To me, a lot of the sacks was Dak trying to make a play, buy time, and look for the security blanket. Tony Romo, Troy Aikman, they benefited from having a guy that when the play broke down, when nobody else was there, they had that target that they knew I could get there and get me some yardage. We did not have that guy. Now, Blake Jarwin started playing better as the year went on and had that monster game against the Giants. But you can look at the beginning of the season, say the first 3 quarters of the season. We didn't have a reliable tight end as an outlet, as a security blanket. Excuse me, fighting this cold. You've got that now in Jason Witten and Blake Jarwin. Turning the page back to last year, we had Allen Hurns, we had Terrance Williams, and we had Cole Beasley for receiving corps. Think back to some of the games, how many times we saw balls that popped up. Evasion of the body catcher, as I call him, Terrance Williams, who would always try and catch the ball with his body, hit his shoulder pads and bop up, and end up being an interception. Look in comparison to where we are now with Amari Cooper, with Randall Cobb, who wants to be here because he wants to be with the team that is challenging for a Super Bowl. as well as Michael Gallup now no longer being a rookie and having a year of experience. Behind him, Allen Hurns. Allen Hurns is your fourth or fifth right now when he was your number one last year. So I dare say that helps out Dak Prescott. But the offensive line as a whole, because here's where it's interesting, where an Eagle fan said that the Eagles are far and away better than the Dallas Cowboys because they have no depth on offensive line. Your starting offensive line should be La'el Collins, Connor Williams, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, and Tyron Smith, with backups of Cam Fleming, who blocked for Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. You got Xavier Salafalo. You got Connor McGovern, too many damn Connors, who has played right guard, center, as well as left guard as a backup. You have Joe Looney, who's played guard, center, and guard over there as well. And you have Connor Williams, who can shift over to tackle. I don't know how much more depth you're thinking about you can have on the offensive line, but that's a hell of a lot of depth. The next thing this Eagle fan said was, we don't have any depth on the defensive line. I know we lost Randy Gregory, or maybe we didn't. Maybe we'll get him back. But we start looking at where we've added more players, where we've added a Tristan Hill to go with the Malik Collins, to go with an Antoine Woods, to go with the Tyrone Crawford, to go with a DeMarcus Lawrence, to go with a Robert Quinn. That's a hell of a rotation right there of defensive linemen. So where is it that we don't have depth there? Linebacker, you basically play mostly two linebacker sets, and you got Jalen Smith and the Wolf Hunter, with Sean Lee coming off the bench, a Pro Bowler coming off the bench. So, in my mind, Dak Prescott being able to work out with the guys he's going to be throwing with this offseason and having all these guys now in the fold, with the exception of Randall Cobb, for a whole season, bringing back a security blanket. And now, with Zeke Elliott, you've got a Tony Pollard, who is, in essence, will be a third down back, a guy who you can use in an outlet catch role via like Lance Dunbar a few years back. Lance Dunbar had phenomenal talent, was a great pass catcher, but couldn't stay healthy. But having now also a backup in Mike Weber, who is a between the tackles runner, I dare say that the Dallas Cowboys have not had this much depth and this many people around the quarterback in forever. When I look back even at Tony Romo right now, Tony Romo didn't have, I don't think, this many playmakers there. We had Dez, of course, but you didn't have, another great receiver beside him. You had, of course, tight end Jason Witten Younger. You had great offensive line, but this has the potential to be one of the best Dallas Cowboys offenses in a very, very long time. Maybe, possibly, dare I say, possibly, maybe ever. Now, if you think I'm wrong on that, give me your arguments and thoughts of why it may not be. But, I mean, you've got three good wide receivers. You got the best back in football. You've got a quarterback who doesn't turn over the ball. You've got an offensive line with depth. You got a Hall of Fame tight end. If Kellen Moore can come up with an offense that's a little bit more open than what Scott Linehan This offense should be night and day better than anything we've had in quite a while. But we'll have to wait and see. But as always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing. And Benjamin Forbes ended up winning the Dak Prescott autograph shirt last night. Email me at cowboysmark94@gmail.com. I'm Mark Holmes, and as always, thank you guys for being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. I'll see you soon.